Hey, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Bubbly, and I'm here with a new video about super people and their weapons and class tier list. I went on YouTube already, and I went to go check out, hey, what's the best weapon, or what's the best class to use, and most of them I really didn't agree with since I've been playing super people. Like the guns that they said were like A tier, S tier, and all this crap were actually like pretty inaccurate, which is so weird. I've been playing the game for a while now, and I looked at people's tier lists, and they were so off, like really off, and it was odd. But I'm here making my own tier list, uh, and it's gonna be an accurate one. Like you could see all of the stuff that I have here already. I will remake it again, but I can explain to you already why I put everything here in these slots. You know what I'm saying? Um I'll just try and see if I could go make a whole new one because I definitely don't want. Let's see. Actually, we could check out other people's stuff. So this guy says that teleporter's S tier, which he's correct. Seeker's S tier, which is correct. Sniper is S tier. Wrong. Sniper's not S tier. Driver, definitely right. That's correct. Wrong. Um, that's also wrong. That's right. And that's wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Most of these are wrong. Um, yeah. Most of these are wrong. And I think it's just their preference only, like their preference only. So like the M4 16S as an overall AR, it's definitely up there. It definitely sits in the A to S tier spot. The only problem with the M4 is that you need all of the attachments just for it not to bounce because everything like you'll just have the holographic sight on, right? You go into a game and there's a holographic sight. You pick up the holographic sight and then you go to a fight. 9 times out of 10, you're probably not gonna win the fight. Um, if you're medium range, like actually medium range. If you're close range, you might win it. There's a possibility. There's like a 75% chance you actually win your fight close range with the AR, like the M4. But I'm gonna make my own tier list. I'm gonna make the same one again, but we're gonna look at it objectively though. I just put cuz. Really? Really? I can't spell now? Alright, boom. Super people CBT. And then reset. There you go, perfect. I'm gonna just fix everything, put all the classes on the bottom, on the guns on the top. And boom, there we go. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do weapons first. AKM. Alright. That is definitely D tier. 100%. If you ever pick up the AKM, it is not worth ever picking up the AKM. Solely for the fact that it just bounces too much. It kicks too much. It loses fights consistently. It is not a great AR. Whether you have it green, whether you have it advanced, which is blue, whether you have it purple, which is rare, whether you have it heroic, whether you have it legendary, whether you have it mythical, it still underperforms. It's a very bad weapon, and I feel like they need to nerf. Like what they need to do is they need to buff the AK for it to actually work, because the gun does not work at all. Like literally at all, the gun is not good. It is definitely, most definitely not a good weapon. F2K, definitely an A tier weapon. I'd say B tier mostly. Um, if I'm looking this objectively, yes, it's definitely a B tier. Like all it needs is a compensator, vert grip, mag, and a like a sight. If the F2K doesn't have a mag, it can't really perform as well as a different SMG would, right? Any other SMG, you could actually just pick it up and murder. With the F2K, you need these attachments to murder because, again, when you're playing on PC, everything bounces. I think you can only play Super People on PC too. Um, but everything bounces. Everything has its own recoil. Everything has its own jump. The way you're shooting, and with this one is particularly odd. Like but you can't use this. You can't use this gun at a very far range, and you can't use this gun at a very far medium range. You have to use it either like very close medium or very close range. It's like an SMG, but make sure you have the mag. Make sure you have the mag. That extra 10 bullets in that mag that you can put will actually make you win fights. Because there has been times where I pick up the F2K, I don't have a mag, and I lose the fight because I ran out of bullets. And not a lot of people are accurate at this game. Like not a lot of people are accurate. And I was still getting used to the game. So when I picked up the F2K, it just went all over the place. My aim was all over the place, and I ended up losing the fight. And these are just all for like casual players or for, this might be even a reference for pros or whatever, because I honestly think that what I'm doing here is definitely an accurate chart. And the F2K is most definitely a B tier gun. You can pick it up and you'll still do fine with it. It's definitely an early to mid game gun. And if you get it like heroic or higher, you can probably push it into the late game, but it won't be as good as you think. Um, because in late game, people will already have legendaries, people will already have mythicals, and people will already have like better guns that perform better as heroics late game. But yeah, that's where the F2K sits at for this like AR just in general. Just and the weird thing is that the F2K is an AR. It's not an SMG, it's an AR. So out of the whole categories of the AR, that's the reason why it's a B tier. And plus it performs as a B tier gun. And 100%. So this is a DMR. It doesn't really classify as a DMR. It's like an AR DMR together. But it's a DMR and it's a G3. I'm gonna put it at a D tier. The thing with the G3 is it may be a DMR, but it's a single fire weapon. It's very bad at far range because the shots are very erratic every time you shoot. Let's say you try and tap, 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 tap. Out of those 5 bullets that you just shot, 2 of them would actually hit the player. And it would bounce like this. That's how it bounces when you shoot the G3, and that's not good. The only place where the G3 can actually perform is close range. It's literally a wannabe shotgun, but single fire, and you can spray with it. Because if you're close range, you have a higher chance of hitting all your bullets, you know what I'm saying? Medium range, it's not that great. It can be if you know already how to do the pattern and how to fix it with it, like move your mouse specifically the way you want it with the pattern and everything. It can be a good tier weapon. So you can actually put this into a C tier if you are like pro material or if you are like somebody who has like a specifically good aim. But for those who are casual players or those who are beginners, this gun will definitely sit at a D tier. It is literally very underwhelming and it underperforms a lot. Like a lot when you're trying to do it medium range. All right, so now we have the Kar98K. Kar98K is one of the best snipers in the game. You could debate on putting it S and A tier, 100%. You can definitely put it in the S tier. You can definitely put it in the A tier. When you have the Kar98, you can perform it at early game, late game, mid game, at any time. Depending on like also with like the the heroics, or like the states of the weapon. If it's green, if it's blue, if it's purple, if it's orange, if it's freaking red, or if it's gold. Like at any performance, the Kar 98 will perform well as long as you hit the head. I've literally played a game where a dude had a orange heroic Kar 98, and I had a tier 5 helmet, which is literally the end of, like, that's like the top tier helmet. That's like at the very top. You can only go, there's only 5 tiers of helmets in this game. And 5 tiers of body and 5 tiers of backpack. And I've gotten one shot by a Kar 98 in the head with a high tier helmet. Like, in reality, you use the X40 and you hit somebody in the head. If it's heroic, it's gonna underperform. They use the same bullet type, but the drop is different for every weapon. And with the X40, if you shoot somebody in the head with the X40, it'll most likely ricochet off that dude's head. Like, he'll probably take damage, but he'll be aware of, now, oh shit, there's a sniper. And that's the only, like, sucky part. Like, I've literally performed so well with the Kar 98, and I think overall the Kar 98 is one of the best snipers currently. Without the, and these are all weapons without the care package weapons. So there's don't forget that they're actually care package weapons. You know what I'm saying? So you can easily put this S tier, or you can easily put this A tier. No matter where you put it, Kar 98 will always perform well as long as your aim is great. But yeah, Kar 98 will definitely perform well, and that's why I put it at an A tier, and it could be an S tier. You know, like I would even put it at S tier myself. You know, but I'm gonna put it here because we gotta think out. You gotta think of it as more realistic. You gotta be more realistic in the game. M1 Garand, I'd say M1 Garand's a B tier, 100%. A lot of people don't like the M1 Garand. A lot of people don't like the M1 Garand just because, one, you can't put a clip on it. It only holds 8 mags no matter what rarity it is. But don't forget, and you could tell, and I watched another YouTube and somebody said that the M1 Garand is inaccurate. The M1 Garand is not inaccurate. If you use the M1 Garand correctly, the M1 Garand is not a DMR. It's a sniper. It is a 1000% sniper. Don't ever use the M1 Garand as a DMR. It'll never be there. It'll never perform if you try to multi-shoot with it and take somebody down just because it has 8 bullets. You know, like that's where I see it. And that's why it's at a B, because it's under the DMR bar. But it's not a DMR. It's a sniper. You gotta realize that sometimes there's guns in these games that act differently to what their actual class is. They're put on a specific frame, but they are used in a different way. It is literally a sniper. If you ever pick up the M1 Garand, you can either put a sniper suppressor on it or a AR suppressor on it. Those are the two differences. It acts more like a sniper. Use the M1 Garand as a sniper. I've headshot so many people with the M1 Garand, and I've been headshotted with the M1 Garand, and I'm telling you, no matter what rarity of the M1 Garand you have and you hit them in the head, you will 100% win. There are sometimes, like, if you're in, like, the green or blue, you might have to shoot twice in the head. Don't get me wrong, because this, you know, like, what if they have a tier 4? What if they already have a tier 5? You know, that protects them, right? But if you have a heroic M1 Garand, there's nobody getting saved from that. You know what I'm saying? It's a heroic M1 Garand. You'll get shit on. You'll still go through tier 5 helmets, just like the Kar 98 does. Right? But the M1 Garand is meant to be used as a sniper, not as a DMR. People, please remember that if you're ever going to use the M1 Garand, use it as a sniper. Don't ever use it as a DMR. Don't ever use it as a gun that can just shoot rapidly and take someone down. The M16 C tier. I've actually seen my friend perform well with the M16, which was very odd because it's most likely a D tier weapon. If I'm being honest, it underperforms. Its burst recoil is very bad. You just gotta know where to aim with the gun though. That's why I'm putting it at C tier because I feel like I need more experience with the gun in order for me to win fights. But I will try later. I will keep it at a C tier. And I've tried it single fire and it's not the best. Um, but other than that, we're pretty good. You know, like I have no other opinion on the M16, mostly because I don't have a lot of experience with it. I've only experienced like the lower tiers, like the green and the gray, like the normal one that you pick up at the very beginning. I've only experienced those two, so I feel like I have to go and venture out more with the M16 and see whether it performs well mid game, whether it performs well late game. But I have a feeling that this game is definitely an early to mid game gun if you're ever gonna pick it up. Despite the rarities, you know, it's probably just gonna sit right at a big mid. And then you should definitely just switch weapons. And for 16, easily again S tier, A tier. Um, I'm gonna put it at A tier because it's definitely a gun. The only reason why I haven't put it in S tier is because you need a shit ton of attachments for it to work. And but when it works, and it's amazing. Like I performed so well with it. I've clutched a lot of squad games by myself. Like I've literally all my teammates way down, and I took a whole squad out by myself solely with the M4. And I'm telling you, it works. Like the gun definitely performs. It's there when you need it, and it is definitely a great gun. Definitely a great gun. So basically, we got the mini R, right? The mini R is a DMR, and you can use it like a fucking rifle, like an automatic rifle, like the ARs. The only thing is it's single fire. So, and there's very little bounce. There's not a lot to it. But when you hit, right? The mini R, either A tier, and personally, it should be a S tier. It should be an S tier gun. I've been shut down so many times by that gun, and I've shut down so many people with that gun. Actually, I'm gonna leave it at S. I'm gonna leave the mini R at S because at heroic, the mini will shut you down. At legendary, the mini will shut you down. And I've actually been destroyed by a mini mythical. It is insane. It is insane. The gun is insane, and it is very reliable. The only thing is you gotta tap fast in order for you to destroy people. Like, not like a specific tap fast. Like, you can literally go boom, 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 and still probably take somebody down. But you gotta realize that the person might have a faster shoot. So like, it might be like a boom, 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 like that, rather than a boom, 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 boom. You know, you see how slower it is. But other than that, I'm gonna just leave the mini at S tier because I definitely know that the mini is capable of being one of the best guns in the game, and I can totally see big streamers using this gun a lot, and I can totally see so many people using it in the game because it is worth. It is 100% worth to pick up that weapon. So next we got the MP5 SD. It is literally a suppressed MP5. And I'd say pick it up at blue or higher. It is definitely an all-round gun. You can use it late game, you can use it mid game, and you can use it early game. If you find an MP5 early game, find a green one. Don't pick up a blue one. I mean, don't pick up a gray one. Find a green one, please. Find a green one. The green one does a little bit more damage. Don't forget that each color tier that they have does more damage. It does, I think, 10 to 20 10 to 10 to 20 more damage than the original color before it would. So always pick it up. The MP5 is definitely a B tier weapon just because it's an all-round weapon. And you can put it either B or A. Um, and you don't even need a lot with the MP5. You could literally just find a mag or don't even use a mag and put a red dot sight on it or put a holographic sight on it and it'll work. You'll do great. Like literally, you wouldn't like right off the get, the MP5 has a 30 round mag. And then with the clip, it has a 40 round mag. Like, you wouldn't really need a clip because it already has a 30 round mag and you can just shut people down easily. You know, so that's why I'm suggesting, you know, like you don't need a mag in order for you to kill people with the MP5. So just throw a red dot on it and just go out there and start slaying. If you find that clip later, use the clip. The clip might be used for late game. It's definitely perfect. PPSH. A lot of people like the PPSH, right? In the beginning, like of Super People or whatever, the PPSH used to perform really well. After so many updates, the PPSH got nerfed, 100%. And now the gun is technically a fat pea shooter. You can only pick it up when it's either legendary or mythical. Heroic might work too, but that's where it's going. Even though PPSH is fast, it is unforgettably a very close range weapon. And even though you might have the PPSH, you can still get outplayed by an Uzi. You can't use the PPSH medium range. You can't use the PPSH far range. It is literally solely and only a close range weapon. And don't forget, every time you shoot the gun, it's very erratic. And you can't put any attachments on this weapon for it to perform better. You can't put a red dot. You can't put a grip. You can't put, like, it already comes with a 71 round mag, so you don't need a mag. But like stuff like that might help the PPSH perform just a little bit. Other than that, the PPSH just recalls this basically. You see where my mouse is? That's where the erratic recoil is at. And that's the sucky part too, because the shots are spreading very horizontally, and it's not that great. Um, so it's technically like a high key pea shooter. It is definitely like if I were you, if you were ever to pick up the PPSH, PPSH works or very early game. Drop if you see a PPSH, pick it up, pick up armor, whatever, and then go in and start fighting people. You'll win, 100%. You'll win. Other than that, PPSH might work mid game, but don't rely on it too much. Have a backup. Have like an M4 as a backup. Have uh like a mini as a backup, or like something that is consistent. That's something you know you can actually get a kill with, because the PPSH again is a very close range weapon, and that's the only way it would actually work. R870 is an A tier shotgun. Out of all the shotguns, it is the best shotgun. The best shotgun. Um, it's a pump shotgun, and when you actually use the shotgun and you have a choke on it, and you have a cartridge belt, which is like the belt for the Kar98 to reload faster, it does the same thing with the shotgun. The shotgun reloads a lot quicker. And if you are Shotgun Master, the class right here, you get a perk that lets you reload shotguns even faster. So let's say you get Shotgun Master with the R870, you win. You win. You just win. Because the Shotgun Master's got knockback, it's got weapon damage, it's got weapon reload speed, it's got a lot. If you're using Shotgun Master with the R8, right? Now, sometimes the R8 can underperform if you are not Shotgun Master specifically. It takes either one or two shots to actually drop them, whether they're close or medium range, but it performs very well. Unlike the SA-12 over here, you need to be very close range, which, yeah, like the SA-12 is a very bad underperformer, and it's an auto shotty. It's an auto shotty. It takes 8 bullets. It holds eight bullets. You put a mag on it, it holds 10. Or like yeah, it holds 10. The only thing is that with this one, you might put a choke on it, but it takes you 3 shots to drop them. Close range. It takes you 3 shots to drop them close range. And it takes you 2 extra bullets to finish them off on the ground. That's 5 shots you already took out of the 8 bullets, 8 to 10 bullets you have in your mag. Now, with the R8, if you're close range, you can drop him in 1 shot. If it doesn't take 1 shot, You got your second shot. And then when they're down, it takes another shot. 3 out of the 5 bullets it has. Now, like I said, the R8 can drop somebody in 1 to 2 shots. So you have that chance to drop a second person with 1 to 2 shots. Because if you're in a scenario like that and you drop somebody's buddy, let's say you're playing duo, you're dropping somebody's buddy with the R8. You drop them with 2 shots, you take a shot to finish him off. His buddy's now going to rush you. The thing is that if you're going to use the shotgun, don't aim down sight, just hip fire. Hip fire works, hip fire will kill. Especially with the shotguns. If fire works, and if the dude comes to come rush you and he's got, let's say, a PPSH, or let's say he's got an MP5, you know, and they're like, they're at blue, you win. You win. Because he's rushing you. He already knows you have a shotgun, but still is very careless to come and rush you. And the moment he comes up to you and you aim right at the chest, boom, he's dead. 1 shot. Comes at you and it's over. If you don't hit him with that, like if you do take that 1 shot and he's not down, pump, 2 shot, downed. Now you can sit there, reload, and finish his ass. And then reload again. That's how good of the R8 is. Like, I would definitely say that the R8 is definitely a very good weapon up there. Solely for the fact that you can drop people very quickly with it, regardless of the armor. I think at tier 5, it takes 2 shots, though. Like, if they got tier 5 body armor and tier 5 head, it takes 2 shots to the body. And then it takes 1 or 2 shots to the head. I'm not sure. Scar H, C tier. That gun underperforms way too much. A lot of people don't know this, but the Scar H has a 20 round mag, so you need to have a mag for it. The Scar H has a very bad recoil. Like it's very bad. This is horrible. I can't even explain it because every time I've used the Scar, it underperformed and I died with it. Literally. I'd shoot a dude with a whole clip and I'd hit all my bullets on him. He's still living. He's still living. It's a Scar H, bro. And that's happened to me so many times with the Scar H. I can't even imagine. I've actually never dropped anybody down with the Scar H. Never. Like literally every time I pick up the Scar H, I try and go for a fight, I get downed because the Scar H underperforms. And I know my aiming is kind of accurate. Like I can hit all my shots. But it's never there with the Scar H. Never there. Again, the SP. I'm gonna put it at a C. A C. Because it honestly depends on the rarity that you're using. It's a 2 bullet. That's the big disadvantage. So you only got 2 shots to take someone down or you're dead. It has a very slow reload. I think you can't put the cartridge belt on it, so you can't reload any faster with it unless you have Shotgun Master. And but when you have, I'd say heroic or higher, it kicks. I'm telling you, those 2 shots are kick, like they hurt. 1 shot will take half your health, the other one will take your other half of the health. So if you hit both of them, they're dead. Right? They are dead. If you have legendary, it's literally 1 shot drop. If you have mythical, it's a 1 shot drop. And it takes the choke. That's the only thing. So if you have the choke, you win. I'm telling you, bro, the choke matters. Literally, the choke matters on these fucking shotguns. Because if you don't have it, it's not going to perform well. It's not going to have these shotguns. Like, these shotguns are going to very underperform. Like, they're going to be bad. But, I'm going to put it at a C because I performed pretty well with it. I've dropped people with it, with the choke and without the choke at heroic state or higher. So that's technically all that matters. It's definitely a C tier gun. It's definitely a C tier gun. I wouldn't put it up there at B. I wouldn't put up there at A because it doesn't sit there for me. And like just in general. Just off its like disadvantages and advantages. I feel like it's got more disadvantages than it does advantages. What do we have here? SKS. I know I skipped the fucking thing for SP. Like it was weird. SKS. SKS can either sit at a C or a B. And depending on the rarity, I'm gonna put it at B. I know I had some pretty hard times using the SKS, but I know the SKS can perform well. The only thing that sucks is if you pick up an SKS just off the ground without a mag, it's got 10 bullets. And you have to hit all your shots to drop them. It is bad. If you got a mag, then you have a chance. Then you definitely have a chance. But other than that, I feel like the SKS can perform well and it does hit, but it's still worse than the mini. You know, whether you pick up any type of mini, you'll still win. But other than that, you know, the SKS definitely performs well, and it is definitely a B tier gun. I feel that. I can definitely see it as a B tier gun, regardless of any rarity. Regardless of any rarity. Don't like it can be any rarity, and it can sit there at B. And like, don't forget, we're not even like measuring all the mythicals, you know? Like, I haven't tried all the mythicals, you know? What's it called? UMP 9 is definitely an A tier gun. UMP can be used at any time. It's a very good all rounder weapon. Can literally be used early, mid, and late. Oh, like, I can't even, bro. Like, legit, like, every time I've used the UMP, I've literally, like, killed at least 2 people. I've either killed a whole duo squad with it, or a clutches when I needed to clutch. Definitely a good gun. And don't forget, like, most of these guns, like, don't ever use the angled grip. Shit, my bad. Don't ever use the angled grip. Don't ever use the angled grip. The vertical grip is the way because a lot of these guns have vertical recoil. And if once you cancel that out with the vert grip, you basically have almost 0 to like 1 recoil. 0 to 1 recoil. Like it's not that bad. And you can actually win with shit like that. Like the angled grip, yeah, you could put it on the angled grip. Maybe on the Uzi, maybe on the Vector. Um, what are the like? And I'm telling you, like it was probably those 2 guns, and that's it. But if you put it on the M4 will just shoot very erratically. What else? You could put it on the F2K. It's not that bad on the F2K. But I use most of my stuff with the vertical grip, and I do fairly well. Uzi. All right. When you pick up the Uzi, you get like a 25 round mag, which is not that bad. It's 100% not that bad. You can still drop people with it regardless of any rarity because the Uzi is pretty fast. But once you get it heroic or higher, you win. You win your fights because it does so much damage and it's very fast. It is big fat boy, and especially if you have a mag, it goes from being at a 25 round mag to a 40 round mag. So Uzi is definitely an A tier gun. Vector, 19 bullets right off drop. 19 bullets. You have to hit all of your shots to down someone. It is a very fast weapon. It goes from 19 to 33 when you pick up a mag. But when you get that mag, this gun sits right here. The Vector is nice. The Vector is nice. 1,000% nice. I am telling you, the Vector is a mid to late game gun. You can use it early game, but find the mag. If you pick up the like the Vector early game, pick up the mag. Find a mag fast. Even if, you know, like let's say you get into a fight right away, try and hit all your shots, please. Because if you don't, you have to reload. And it kind of sucks when you don't hit all your shots because then they still live and they have that chance to heal. And then all that, you know, bullets that you just put into them went to waste. You know? Other than that, once you get the mag, the gun is god tier. The gun is definitely good. It's definitely a mid to late game, and it sits right at the close range. It sits right at the close to medium range. It is well. It is definitely good. Like once you have all the attachments on it, it has good recoil, something you can definitely control and handle, and it also has like at medium range you can still hit all your shots, and it's got 0 recoil. Like, it's insane. The only thing you got to worry about is like the bullet drop, but you'll figure that out as you're playing the game. And I'm telling you, like, all the stuff that I'm putting here is very accurate. And like the mini might be a personal. You can put the mini at an A. Um, but that S tier right there is very personal to me because I love the mini. I will always pick up the mini when I have the chance, if it's a higher tier mini. But other than that, we are goosh. And we got the 1887. Meh. That's a meh ass gun. The 1887 is gonna go right there and it's gonna stay there. Like, I can talk to you about all the disadvantages and everything like that, but I just really don't want to. For the 1887, whether you have a choke or not, it can down people. But the huge disadvantage you have for the 1887 is that it's got to swing the whole gun around to make another shot. Which, in those 2 seconds of you swinging the whole gun, the person in front of you has a chance to kill you with a Vector, kill you with an Uzi, kill you with an M4. Like, every gun that has very fast fire rate. And that's almost half the guns in the game that majority of the people pick up. So 9 times out of 10, you're losing the fight with the 1887. If you're ever going to fight with the 1887, it's got to be indoors. When someone's taking cover inside a room and trying to hide behind the walls. And you just peek, boom, peek again, boom, peek again, boom. That'll work because then you have those free 2 seconds and they can't just shoot you down. But the 1887 is not worth picking up. If you get it legendary, if you get it mythical, if you get it heroic, it might work. Use it. Like, you want to use weapons that are at that tier list, like at that top. That way, it does more damage and after each shot, and you can rely on it a lot more. Now we got the last weapon, the X40A1. The X40A1 is 1,000% a B tier weapon. A B tier weapon. I would say C most of the time, but I put it at B because I know the X40 can perform well. And I know that it's good with headshots, but you pick it up and it'll take you a million years just to find a sniper mag. And it's one shot. Compared to the Kar 98, which is a 5-shot, the M1 Garand, which is an 8-shot. Its cousins literally perform better than, perform already mag size better than the X40. That's a huge disadvantage. You have a sniper that can do a shit ton of damage, but has 1 bullet per shot, which is trash. Like, that gun can perform pretty fucking well. Trust me. I've used it and it did well, but it's just the one shot after every, you shoot once, you have to reload and put another bullet in it. Shoot again, have to reload, put another one in it. You get a Kar 98, you shoot. He has to clock it back, you shoot again. Clock it back, shoot it again. That 2-second difference is huge. Because instead of you having to constantly wait after every shot to reload, the person right ahead of you that you're shooting at can run at any position and start shooting back. Then you have to take cover and then lean shoot. And it's never there when it needs to be. But it can be when you have the mag and you're slapping. And lastly, we got these classes, which these classes we could do pretty well. I mean, we could do pretty fast. Driver, S tier. Gas Soldier, A tier. Seeker, S tier. Teleporter, S tier. Shotgun Master, A tier. Sniper, B tier. This guy, A tier. This guy, B tier. Marine, C tier. Gatling Gun Soldier, A tier. Nuclear, A tier. I said Gatling Gun Soldier, A tier. I meant B tier. Firearms Expert, B tier. That's where I put everything. And don't get me wrong, the just the ultimates to all these things are pretty good, but they're very situational. The only thing is that the teleporter, the seeker, and the driver have very big advantages. Mobility. They have mobility. They have mobility. These other characters don't have as much as mobility as you think. And the reason why I have Shotgun Master at A tier when everybody has it all the way in the fucking ground is because the Shotgun Master has mobility. It has its super jump. About 60% of the map is cliffs. And sometimes the game ends on cliffs. So let's say if you're Shotgun Master and you're not even actually using a shotgun that requires like let's say it's the SP and you need to use it, and yet you're running around the game with an M4 and a sniper, or you're running around the game with an SMG and an M4 or something like that. The perks, it doesn't really matter about like class specific. It's the perks that comes with the classes. You can run Shotgun Master, and since it's got its super jump or its jump training, you can literally jump from the floor to the top of a cliff in a second. And if you do that, you win your fights. You win your fights. And I'm telling you, it's crazy. And not a lot of people see that. It's because they've never been put in a situation like that where they got to jump a cliff in order to kill someone. And I've been in that situation plenty of times where that jump solely saved me and clutched and got me a win. And I can definitely show you that, but that's what it is. Shotgun Master is definitely good. Seeker is definitely good. Teleporter and Driver. Not a lot of people like Driver, and a lot of people will definitely put him A tier or B tier. But what you got to remember is that Driver can get you from circle to circle. Driver has a perk that if you take cover behind a car, and it increases your damage and your defense, so you take less damage from bullets. That's how you want to use your vehicle. If you're ever out in the open like that and pretty badly, sit by the tires, because they can still shoot you through the windows of the vehicle. They can still shoot you below the vehicle. If they're at a high ground, then they can't really do that, But if they're at like a mid ground, or if they're on like ground, just hide on the tires, because the tires will cover your feet, and you won't take damage there. But that's how you want to use your car. You want to put it, if you're out in the open, take it as cover. Put it as cover. And on top of that, you can get out of that fight immediately because you're using the car as a cover. And if you guys are like, oh shit, we're in trouble, you can get into the car and be out. And I'm telling you, like, in this game, mobility matters. Mobility is definitely up there. And I have Gas Soldier here because Gas Soldier is clutch. Gas Soldier, his flamethrower can go through walls. His flamethrower is a one-shot drop. Like a one-shot drop. It's literally killed me and my buddy together. And it like destroyed us. Nuclear is definitely OP right now. If you know where you're putting your nukes at, you win. And you also get an RPG with it. But the funny thing is that if you're running Driver, you counter the shit out of a nuclear, because you have explosion resistance, and it's literally to every explosives, like C4s, precision strikes, nuclears, grenades, C4s, everything that is explosive, you take resistance to. And that's again why Driver is top tier. Other than that, we got Sniper with its precision shot, which it does a lot more damage on the first shot. SWAT and Marine, they both have stuff that like covers your vision. Like with SWAT, he's got that blackout, right? But let's say your enemy has a tier 5 helmet. They got NVGs. And the NVGs work. So if you have a tier 5 and you're blacking out, they still see you. You have no advantage there. So you pushing just kind of made everything like bullshit, unreliable. So no matter what you do, that's why, like, SWAT early game is good, SWAT mid game is good, but SWAT late game is bad. SWAT late game will not work. Marine late game definitely would work. Marine's Fog of War works in every scenario because it blocks everybody. And the cool thing is that when you're in the fog, you make less noise and you do more damage, which is cool. But again, it's a dome. Like if you see it outside, it's literally a dome of smoke. And the moment you come out of it, anybody else can just snipe you right out of it. So that's like, again, very situational. Same thing with Fire Expert. He stops, like, he slows down time for 4 seconds. And it highlights your enemies that are around you so that you know who your enemies are. But again, it's a dome. It's very situational. You have to be in a close range fight. With I think this is Strike Force. Again, with mobility, you get to dodge right out of shit real quick, and on top of that, you can jump with it, and it's very good. So these are mostly the reasons why I like all of these classes and I choose all of these classes. 100%. And I feel like these would like if people follow this, like this tier list, they can definitely up their rank. They can definitely like get in the higher spot as long as they have like a good aim control. But other than that, like this is a perfect representation of how all the guns are in the game. 100% perfect representation. These are guns that definitely people would pick up, from wouldn't pick up to pick up. 100%. And like these are the classes reflect the same on everything as well. But I guess that's about it. We're done with the tier list. And now I will be going playing Super People. All right, well, this is B-Bubbly, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down at the bottom and that like button. And I will be making more videos. I am live on Twitch. My Twitch is twitch.tv/vbubbly, the capital B and a lowercase v. I am live every single day. I hope you guys will come out and check me out. And I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Bye.